Hiya, my name is Poke King, but you can just call me King, and today I'm bringing you a little bit of a different video. I wanted to do a ranking video of all of the Pokemon spin-off games, but upon some research, I found that I didn't really play a lot of the spin-off games, and I don't think that making an entire ranking video of like all of them, similar to what I did with my mainline games, wouldn't really make any sense because there are a lot that I haven't played. So I was thinking, like, is there something that I can do that still gets some of my opinions on the spin-off games that I have played and maybe makes a list of the ones that I haven't played or anything like that, and was just a quicker video, something where I didn't really have to edit a lot as well, because I wanted to actually get this video out for you Tuesday, so hopefully this video is going up Tuesday. What I came to the conclusion of is, why don't I just make a tier ranking or a tier making video, like with the website and everything like that. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I have a tier up here with all of the spin-off games. I apologize if one of them is missing. Hopefully I've got all of them covered here. Like, even just looking at this, there's a lot more than I actually thought there was. I didn't realize that there was this many Pokemon spin-off games, so it definitely is very interesting. I do have a section for games that I never played because I feel like it's not fair for me to just rank them based off of what I think they're about. So just because I haven't given them a fair shot, I'm going to put them in the never played. The other categories that we have, so our top category is of course going to be Arceus Blessed. So any games that Arceus himself has blessed us is going to go in the top. Our second level is good stuff. So that's just like good games that I enjoyed. Wasn't really mind-blowing, but they were good games. They were fun. Next, we have pretty bad. So those are going to be games that are, well, pretty bad that I didn't really enjoy or might have had too many issues for me to ignore. So that's what that category is going to be. And then kind of our bottom category for the actual ranking that's not included in the games I never played is going to be actual dog shit. So I think that that category is pretty self-explanatory too. Like, if the game's really, really bad, it's going to go in there. So, yeah, I think we're just going to jump right into this ranking video. Our first game on the list here is Hey You Pikachu, which I never played. And it's probably because I didn't really have any of like the cool accessories for the N64. I didn't really have a lot of N64 games growing up either. Like, I only had a handful of them. And yeah, I just never played that game. Would I want to play that game in the future? Maybe, but I don't know how well it would work on like an emulator, so we'll see. The next game on here is the Pokemon channel, which I believe was just somewhere you could watch Pokemon clips and episodes. I have no idea, so that's also going to go in never played. I don't know what that's about. Pokemon Snap is a weird one because I really wanted to play it, but I never got around to playing it on the N64, so that's going to go ahead and go into the never played because I never played that particular version of Pokemon Snap. Now, this version of Pokemon Snap, I actually got a chance to play at a friend's house for a little bit, and I didn't finish the entire game, but I'm going to put it in the good stuff because it was really good. I like the concept of going around and taking pictures of Pokemon, and I felt like the environments and everything like that was really fleshed out in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in good stuff. If I pick up that game later on and I feel like it's actually not as good as the couple hours that I played it at a friend's, maybe I will edit this list in the future, but for now, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a good game. Pokemon Park for the Wii, I've never heard of. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what it's supposed to be, so that's just gonna go and never played. I have no clue. I've never heard of that game before in my life. And then we have Pokemon Park 2, which again, I have no idea what that is. Like, I couldn't even think about what I would believe that the summary of that game would be. Like, what is it? Are the Pokemon hanging out in a park? Like, that's all I can think about, and I don't know how much of an exciting game that would be, so I don't think that that is a game. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these I've somewhat heard of, but yeah, I don't even know what Pokemon Park and Pokemon Park 2 is, and you know that it must have been popular because Pokemon Park got a sequel. So enough people must have played it. I just don't know what it is at all. Next, we have the Pokemon trading card game, which, big surprise here, I never played that either. Fun fact about me, I'm just going to go ahead and put the Pokemon trading card game 2 or whatever in the same spot. Because fun fact about me, I started playing Pokemon when Diamond and Pearl came out. So anything that really came before that, I wasn't really interested in because I knew Pokemon and I watched the anime like every so often before school when I was little. But it wasn't really something that interested me until Diamond and Pearl, which I started playing that. And after that, then I kind of did a lot of like backtracking to play any types of games that maybe friends of mine had, and I would borrow them or I would play them at their house and stuff like that. Anything from like the DS and before. But yeah, I never really played these games when they were coming out, so there's a lot of stuff that I missed, including the trading card games because those were for the Game Boy, and I never played Pokemon on a Game Boy until like later into my life. I do apologize for the amount of games I'm gonna put in never played, but yeah, that just seems to happen that way. The next game here is the trading card game online, so I have never played that either. I don't really have any intentions of playing that. I know that that's something that's very easily accessible, and I have like mountains of code cards from my videos and from other stuff that I can use on that, but it's just not really something that I'm interested in. I tried to play the Pokemon trading card game once before, like in real life, and I didn't even know what was going on. I was playing with a friend, and I'm pretty sure we did everything wrong, and we were really trying. And by the end of it, we were both like, no, we're confused, we're bored, we're not going to play this anymore, let's just look at the cards. And that was pretty much it. We never played the game again. I never played the game again with anybody else. Yeah, it's just not really my genre, I don't think. Next, we have 2 Pokemon pinball games, which unfortunately I'm going to put in the never played again, I never played them. So there they are. I think we can just kind of go really quick. All these puzzle games, so these 2 puzzle games, the pinball games, I never played them. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they're about. I have no idea. Next up, we have the Mystery Dungeons games. So I think that the one that is like right next up is the Game Boy one, which I didn't play the Game Boy one, so that's gonna have to go there. I didn't play any of the Red Rescue Team, the Blue Rescue Team, or the Switch one, but good news is I did actually play the DS one, so I played all 3, the Explorers of Time, Explorers of Darkness, and Explorers of Sky. I played all of them, so I'll be able to rank those properly. Now, they were pretty much all the same from what I can remember, and it has been a long time since I played these because I played them when they came out, or like really close when they came out, so like 2007, 2008, 2009. I didn't really revisit them after the fact either. I don't really remember all of the different plot points and everything that made the games different from one another, but I do remember enjoying them. So I'm going to put them all in the good stuff. Whoops. Because I do remember enjoying them. Now, dungeon crawlers and this type of game isn't really something that I'm interested in a lot, so that's why it's kind of just in the good stuff, but it's not Arceus Blessed tier. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and rearrange that. So they are at the top of the good stuff tier because I did really enjoy them. I loved the story of the games. I love the fact that you turned into a Pokemon and like that little personality quiz at the beginning where, you know, it would give you a Pokemon. I remember mine just kept on giving me Munchlax, and I was like, what are you trying to say, game? What are you trying to say? Eventually, I ended up just cheating so I could get Piplup as my character. But no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time. I also remember that there was an episode of like an anime adaptation for these games. Like it came with my limited edition Pokemon Dialga DS. It was like this little CD and it had like the Rescue Team anime on it. I remember being obsessed with that. Like I watched it so much, and there was only like 1 or 2 episodes. It wasn't very long that was on there, and I don't think that it ever became anything, but I remember watching the hell out of it, and I used to watch it all the time. I lost it. I don't know where it went at this point, but yeah, I was like a huge fan of that little movie or episode or whatever the hell it was. So that's gonna go right in the good stuff. That was good. I enjoyed the games. I enjoyed the premise, everything like that. I didn't even realize this, but there's actually 2 more Mystery Dungeon games that are here that I've never played. So I think these are the 3DS ones. Yeah, I didn't enjoy the DS ones so much that I wanted to go and play all of the other Mystery Dungeons games. So unfortunately, I never played any of the other ones besides the DS ones. Also, I didn't actually spend any money on the DS ones because I used to have one of those like SD cards, or like the little chip cards that you would put in your DS, and it has a bunch of games on it, so that's where I played those. So I didn't really want to spend money when I got older and when I got a 3DS that I didn't have one of those chip cards for to go ahead and play those other games. So, yeah. Will I pick them up in the future? I have no idea. Maybe something that I will think about. Who knows? We are moving into another game series that I actually really, really enjoyed. And that's going to be the Pokemon Rangers. So, this middle one, I don't know what that is. I've never played that one in particular, but these other two I have played. I'm going to go ahead and immediately put that right at the top of good stuff. So the first Pokemon Rangers game, that's right at the top of the good stuff. I freaking loved this game. I thought it was amazing. I loved the different story. I love that we could be something that wasn't like a Pokemon trainer going through the gyms and stuff like that. I really enjoyed being a Pokemon Ranger, and even all of the mechanics of using the touchscreen to circle around your Pokemon and stuff like that. It was great. I loved the story. I loved all of the characters in the first game. It was just a good time. And you may be wondering why I put that in good stuff and why I'm being kind of like critical about it. It was a game that I never really returned to. It just kind of, like, I played it, I enjoyed it, but I never went back to replay it or play like a different file or anything like that. I just kind of finished playing it, was happy that I finished playing it, and then that was kind of it. So that's going to go in the good stuff. But Pokemon Rangers Shadows of Omea, that's going right in Arceus Plus. I absolutely loved that game. And that was a game I think I've played it like 4 times over at this point. I love Shadows of Omea, and I don't know if it was because it was more of the Diamond and Pearl generation of Pokemon, or if it was the story of that game. The characters was actually something that was really big for me. You had your friendship / kind of rivalry with Keith, and I just really liked Keith as a character. I thought he was really cool. I enjoyed, going on missions with him. And then you kind of start in like a school and you have another friend named Rhythmy, and Rhythmy becomes like, I don't remember what they're called, but it's basically one of the people who send other rangers on missions and stuff like that. So I enjoyed kind of seeing these characters grow up and like go to school and graduate and become Pokemon Rangers and stuff. And it was just really fun. And then, you had your partner Pokemon, and you could get like different partner Pokemons that you just had all the time. And I always had a Starly. I love the personality of the Pokemon too. I just feel like it was very well done. Everything was very fleshed out, so that's going right at Arceus Blast. And that's our first Arceus Blast right now for this list. Next up, we have Pokemon Rumble. And I feel like there's, again, a lot of games in the Pokemon Rumble series, so there's a lot more that's going to go in this never played. So all of these Pokemon Rumble games I never played, but I did play the first one, and that's going to go in Arceus Blast as well. It's not as high on my list as the Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Omea, but it is definitely up there because I really, really enjoyed Pokemon Rumble, and I thought Pokemon Rumble was like a fantastic game. I remember sinking so much time into it on my Wii, and I loved the mechanics and the art style of them being like little toys that you would like wind up, and then once you fought certain Pokemon, you could like collect them and add them to your toy catalog, I guess, or like your toy shelf. And then every Pokemon that you fought, when you got like the stronger ones, then you could use those strong Pokemon that you fought to go and fight other Pokemon and progress. And there was like tournaments and stuff like that. It was just really fun. There was no deep lore or anything in the game. There was no grand story, nothing like that. It was just a really fun game. Alright, so next up we have another game that maybe this is going to be a hot take, and I want to see if this is like going to be the last straw. I have no idea, but Pokemon Trozei is going to go, what? No, that's going right at the top, right in front of Pokemon Rangers. Come on. Okay, I'm just going to move Pokemon Rangers then, because that needs to go right at the top of Arceus Blast. Pokemon Trozei is one of my favorite. No, actually, I think it's my favorite Pokemon spin-off game, like hands down. No questions asked, Pokemon Trozei is my favorite Pokemon spin-off game. I don't think any of these other games are going to even come close to it. It's going to stay at the top forever. And you might be wondering, wow, is it because it has a really good story? Because, like, King, you've already told us that you really like games with stories. No, the story is kind of shit. And it's literally just like, people stole Pokemon. I think it was Team Rocket. I don't even remember. But people stole Pokemon and they stored them in warehouses, and you have to play a puzzle game in order to get them out. Yeah, that doesn't really sound great. I'm not really selling it, and it's because it's not like a crazy life-changing premise, but it is just so fun. I absolutely adore Pokemon Trozei. I've played it so many times, and I will sink hours and hours and hours into that game every time I have it. I don't know what it is, but just the puzzle aspect, the art style, the gameplay, everything like that is so good. So yeah, that's just, I love Pokemon Trozei. That's on top of my list. It's not going to change. I don't think I'm going to rank anything higher than that in this video. So yeah, you know, that's it. Alright, so the next game here is Pokemon Colosseum, which I actually do remember a friend of mine had, and I feel like I played it a little bit, but definitely not enough for me to put it on this list. So I'll put it at the top of never played, even though I haven't really been ranking anything in never played. I've just been throwing stuff in there. But yeah, that's just gonna go there. I feel like I have played it in the past, but not enough to make an informed decision or anything. So just gonna go there. Now, next game on here I actually didn't even know existed, so it is another Pokemon Trozei game, and I guess it was for the 3DS. I never played this. I want to play this so bad, so that's unfortunately going to have to go there, but I definitely want to play that. And I have a feeling that it's probably not going to cost me a lot of money to buy it, because it's fucking Pokemon Trozei. So, yeah, I will just... I want to play that game in the future, so if you go onto my channel and you see a playthrough of the 3DS Pokemon Trozei, I don't even know what it's called, Pokemon Battle Trozei. If you see a playthrough of that, just know that I completed this. I completed my Pokemon Trozei arc. Next, there's a game called Pokemon Picross. I don't even know what this is, so that's gonna go there. And then we're kind of coming into some other Pokemon games, so like the stadium games. Now I have played Pokemon XD. So this one, Pokemon Raw XD, I played it for a little bit. Kind of same situation as Pokemon Snap. I played it at a friend's house, and I don't think that I really got all of the story, because I remember that Pokemon XD, from what I saw, people said that it has like a lot of story. You had like the shadow Pokemon and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. It's gonna go in good stuff right under Pokemon Snap, because I feel like I didn't play it enough. But I definitely did play it to form an opinion, and the opinion is that it was good. I enjoyed it. I loved the graphics, everything like that. So Pokemon Stadium, and then there's another Pokemon Stadium game here. I never played these. I know. I said this at the beginning of the video. There's going to be so much that goes in never played, because I have not had a chance to play a lot of the older Pokemon spin-off games. So that's going to go there. But I did, in fact, play Pokemon Battle Revolutions, and that's going to go in good stuff. I think that's going to go... Yeah, that will go under the Pokemon Dungeons. Well, actually, no. I am going to rank it above, just because I feel like I went back to Pokemon Battle Revolutions a lot more than I went back to Pokemon Dungeons. And that's just because dungeon crawlers aren't really my thing. So it has nothing to do with the games. I know a lot of people really like the dungeon games, so I'm not saying anything bad about them. They're still good. I still enjoyed them, but it's just not really my genre. So I'm going to put Battle Revolutions above that. Now, speaking of Battle Revolutions, I really enjoyed Battle Revolutions. I never experienced really the other Pokemon Stadium games as they properly should have been experienced, like where you put your Pokemon from your handheld device into a console and then you can see them in 3D and everything. So I experienced that for the first time with Battle Revolutions. So that's why Battle Revolutions is on the good stuff tier, because I played it so much. I remember putting all of my Pokemon from my Diamond game and my Soul Silver game into this, and I loved seeing them in 3D and fighting other Mons and stuff. It was just so fun. I loved all of the different modes. I loved all of the character customization, because I never, again, at this point, played a Pokemon game with character customization in it, so this was my first exposure to that as well, and I really just enjoyed it. Next up is actually a game that I have had experiences with, and that would be Pokemon Dash, and this is going to be going into the actual dog shit category. I don't even know, like, I don't think I've heard anybody talk about Pokemon Dash at all, because it just sucks. Like, it just sucks. And I actually revisited this game probably a month or two ago, or not even, like recently. I revisited this game recently because I have it on that little chip card for my DS, and I was like, oh, it's Pokemon Dash. Like, I don't really remember this game, but I remember it being kind of sucky, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play it again. It was disappointing. I don't know what else to say. It was just not a good game. There wasn't really anything that blew my mind except how shitty the controls were. Like, it's a racing game, okay? So when you play a racing game like Mario Kart, I play Mario Kart all the time. I love Mario Kart so much. I feel like that's probably the epitome of racing games when you're talking about like cartoony or like Nintendo racing games or whatever. After playing Mario Kart and moving on to Pokemon Dash, which is supposed to be a racing game, and I understand it's Pokemon, so there's going to be different things and different mechanics and what have you, but what in the frick is going on here? There is no set path for you to really go. I would just know that it has like Pikachu and then it shows like a little arrow and you have to basically like run your stylus over and over and over and over again so that Pikachu runs and you go into like just an open area. Like there's not really any path, and sometimes you have to go into the trees and like get stuff because you basically have to go around this whole map finding Pokeballs, and then you go and you like walk over it and it's like, okay, go to the next one. But sometimes they're not in order at all and they're just everywhere. And then you have to go way off of the path to go and try to find them. And if you go the wrong way, you're pretty much just screwed because all of the other computers know where they're going. So you're just like, whatever. And then when it brings in the freaking hot air balloon or the balloon sections and that mechanic, oh my god, I want to like scream. Because you have to basically go, you get these balloons, you go up in the air, and then you're just aimlessly going around this map until you find an island that looks like the one that's at the top of the screen, and then you can pop your balloons, fall there, and get the Pokeball, and then you have to do it again. It's so convoluted. It's so ridiculous. I cannot stand the controls, and this game definitely deserves its spot on this list in actual dog shit. Sorry if anybody likes this game, but yeah, it's just bad. So we're kind of moving into more games that I never really played. Pokemon Ranch, I feel like I played a little bit at a friend's house again, or like I borrowed it from them, but I don't know. I don't know anything about Pokemon Ranch. It's just gonna go and never played. Pokemon, wow. Pokemon Conquest as well. Don't know what that is. That's gonna go there. It looks like a Final Fantasy game. It doesn't look like a Pokemon game, so that's just gonna go there. Art Academy is interesting because I do feel like I played this on a friend's DS. It was on the 3DS. And I remember playing this on somebody's DS. But I never got it. I know that you just kind of like colored the Pokemon, which is like fine. And I've seen other people play this game. So it does look like something I would be interested in playing. But I don't know enough about it to really put it on this list. So it's just going to go there again. Whoops. Pokemon Shuffle. That's the same thing. I never played that. We are running into some games that I've actually played, but I'm just going to put the rest of the games I never played in the never played list. So Cafe Mix, Minecraft, Pokemon. I know that's not what it's called, but that's what I'm going to say. And then Magikarp, actually, I do remember playing this a little bit. That's just going to go in like pretty bad. Like it's at the top of pretty bad, almost good, but I played it for like a week and then I never went back to it because it's just Magikarp. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I think, yeah, everything else that's here I've played and I'll be able to actually rank on my list here. We'll just start at the beginning. Detective Pikachu. That's in, so I'm going to put it in pretty bad. Now, it's again at the top of pretty bad because Detective Pikachu is a weird game. And I think that I almost want to rank it higher, but then I remember that the only reason I want to rank it higher is because I love the movie. So the Detective Pikachu movie was amazing. It's like one of my favorite movies ever. One of the best movies I've watched Pokemon-wise as well. Very close to Rise of Darkrai. Rise of Darkrai is my favorite Pokemon movie, but it's like Detective Pikachu is like really close, maybe even tied with it. Just because it's so good. I love the Detective Pikachu movie. I could go on a whole ramble about it, but that's not what this video is supposed to be. But the game was just kind of weird, and it was meh. And it was more of like an interactive story, which is stuff I like. like, I always think about Heavy Rain, even though it's really weird for me to be comparing Detective Pikachu with Heavy Rain. If you've ever played Heavy Rain, you probably are like, what the frig? I do think that it's very similar in the sense that it's more of an interactive story and you're just kind of watching the story play out while doing a bunch of like quick time events or stuff like that. So Detective Pikachu was all right. I wouldn't really consider it like something that blew my mind, but I do appreciate what it did for the series and the movie that it gave us. So I'm going to put it right at the top of pretty bad. And it was also very like silly. Like, I don't know. Detective Pikachu is a weird game. That's just where I'm going to put it. Next up, we have Pokken Tournament. I believe that's what this is called. Forgive me if I messed up on that. It has been a while since I played this, but I'm going to go put that in the good stuff as well. Right above, like, Pokemon Snap and XD. So, Pokken Tournament is another one that I think I played at a friend's house, but I played it a lot more than Pokemon Snap or Pokemon XD. And Pokken Tournament is, like, it reminds me of like Super Smash Brothers, but with Pokemon, and I thought that was awesome. I loved the fighting game with Pokemon because I do love fighting games in general, and I thought that was very well done. I loved all of the character sprites and animations, so that's gonna go in good stuff. Only got 2 more games here. Pokemon Unite. Again, that's gonna go in good stuff. I'll put it above. I'll put it like right here. Pokemon Unite reminds me a lot of Pokken Tournament, but just a little bit more fleshed out, and it has like the online capability and stuff like that. I just started playing Pokemon Unite like literally a week ago because I kept on going on Twitter and I saw a lot of drama with the Pokemon Unite community, but I don't want to talk about that right now. What I really wanted to talk about was I did see a lot of people playing the game, and a streamer that I watch also plays the game, and I do enjoy it. I think it's cool for the concept. I've been playing it for a little bit. I know that a lot of people say that's getting a little stale or something, but because I just started playing it, I don't really see that. That's gonna go in good stuff. Maybe if I play it a little bit more, maybe if I see more of the issues that I guess a lot of other people have been seeing with it, I will move it down on my list, but for now, it's gonna go in good stuff. And then lastly, we have Pokemon Masters EX, which, okay, I'm gonna... this is a really hard one. This is a really hard one because I actually played this. I was one of like the beta testers for this game, and I got early access to it and stuff. Because I was really excited. I loved the ideas that it was playing with, where you had all of these old Pokemon characters coming back to like help you, and there was like different stories, and you could battle and stuff like that. And then I was like, this is a free-to-play game, and it has in-game currency and, like, in-app purchases and stuff. It's just like, ooh, that killed it for me. It really did. It really did. And, like, after a certain point, I uninstalled it, and I haven't played it for years. I don't even know what's going on in it. I occasionally see, like, ads and stuff for new characters or new storylines or whatever, but, yeah, it was just disappointing, and I had my hopes really set high for it, and I thought, like, maybe the in-app purchases isn't going to be such an issue, because I play games like Genshin Impact, and I've never spent a single penny in that game, and, you know, I enjoyed it. I enjoy that game. I enjoy, like, grinding it out and stuff, but I don't know, Masters EX, I feel like just didn't have enough substance to it for me to really stay there and like hang out and play more of it and play more of the story. It was a lot of the same stuff over and over again, and I do really appreciate that I got to see some of the old characters. Like, they redid Barry's sprite, and I remember I had Barry on my team for a very long time in Masters EX, but it wasn't enough for me to stay and keep playing the game. So I'm going to go ahead and put Masters EX right in the middle of pretty bad. Detective Pikachu had enough in it where it actually made me laugh, and I enjoyed it, and it was kind of like memey and stuff, but Masters EX was just like kind of lacking, and it looked really nice, but there was no substance to it, and yeah, I'm actually very disappointed in Masters EX. I didn't realize how disappointed I was in this, but yeah, Masters EX just isn't it, fam. Yeah, I guess that's my entire tier list. There's so much never played. I didn't even realize how many spin-off games there were, and I need to do a deep dive, I think, on spin-off games and play a bunch. So If y'all are interested in a video where I just play a lot of the spin-off games that I haven't got around to playing and then like maybe give them a ranking or something like that, I'd totally be down. I'd have to go looking to see if I could get a lot of them on like emulators or something, but you know, I would be down to like go and look and do some research on the games and give them a fair shot for sure. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, hit subscribe, the notification bell, all of that silly stuff to support my channel. I would really appreciate it. If you want to see me do more tier ranking videos in the future, if this was something that interested you, I could totally do that as well. I'm sorry if I talked a lot. I just had a lot to say and I didn't want this to be as long as my ranking every mainline game, but I still wanted to get my opinions of the games that I actually played out there. I do hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you in the next video, though. Bye!